This is Q13 Fox News This Morning.
If you still carry around baggage from your childhood, you are not alone.
Author and mentor John Schuster stops by to break down how you can make your past a positive influence for your future.
9:14 on this Monday morning. You know, we try to move forward in life, but sometimes that's easier said than done. So how many of you are still held up by something that happened in your past?
John Schuster is a mentor and also author of The Power of Your Past, The Art of Recalling, Reclaiming, and Recasting. John's got a local book signing tonight, but first he is talking with us. Thank you so much for being here.
Great to be here, Louis.
Great topic.
It's a fascinating topic, and John, they say we're the sum total of our parts, our life experiences, but how big a part does that play, and does someone's past have on them as they go through life?
Oh, it's huge, John, and it is, all of us have a past, and none of us can deny it, and so the question is, what do you do with your past? And that's what I wanted to delve into deeply in this book, is that you don't have to be captive to it. You do have to deal with it, and if you don't deal with it, if you stay in some kind of denial, you're actually kidding yourself. So
you're saying you don't have to get over your past, you just have to deal with it.
Well, you reinterpret it is what you do. Yeah, you reinterpret and you amplify the positives. There's nothing wrong with the good parts of your past, and actually when you get trained to stay away from your past, you miss a lot of good parts. So there's this the power of now thing, you know, about staying in the now. I think that's half the story. Being in the moment is crucial, but if you don't also retrieve from your past these gifts, you're just kidding yourself.
So define past for us. Are you talking about childhood trauma or the day-to-day humility that makes us who we are?
I think it's both. It's certainly up through your early work experiences. So certainly childhood, adolescence, but those early work experiences are very formative. And so I recommend you go into all of that. But something that happened last month, you probably can deal with that too in a productive way, because you don't have to stick with anything that happened there either.
Yeah. You write about recalling, reclaiming, and recasting your past. Run us through what that is. What are the steps to that?
The steps, Lily, go like this. First, bring up the images, bring up the memories, and that can be kind of a fun process. That's what we do at reunions, for instance. You ever go back to a reunion and you're laughing and kidding around, and the stories come back from high school or college. So that's the recall part. The reclaim is, now what in there is about my identity should I amplify and really own? And so you own those parts, and a lot of people forget. And then the third part, recasting, is maybe the most important, because those are when you get caught in the kind of the mire and the muck. And just like a pottery, or, you know, a pottery person just recasts the clay and says, oh, I got to reshape this clay. That's what you want to do with those negative memories, is reinterpret it so you can move on and repossibilitize your life rather than be stuck into some old interpretation.
Well, let's put this theory to work here. If someone ends up in a professional or a personal scenario where it evokes the past, how do they deal with it? How do they get by that?
One fun example I can give you is an executive I was coaching had this lack of confidence that would show up at all the worst times for him, just when he didn't need it. And so we started calling these negative voices Igor. So he'd say, uh-oh, Igor's showing up again. And we'd talk to Igor, and we'd make sure that Igor won't go away entirely, but you kind of pull Igor apart, and you make them less powerful rather than getting all knotted up, which is where ego wants you to get tight. And so you loosen it up, and then you make yourself aware that Igor might come back, but you'll know how to deal with him.
Interesting. What is the most important step involved now in being our best selves?
Well, I think it's going into these images of our past and saying, where were the real identity forming pieces? And once you go into those images, the history of that is where the energy and the power is. You reclaim your identity, you re-potentialize yourself, you get better potential, and you set your own direction, as opposed to letting society tell you which direction to go, which unfortunately there's lots of messages out there that take us away from our original self.
So really just taking control of your life.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's about steering it in a direction that's worthy of you, as opposed to the ones that we sometimes get caught in.
Would you say there is one mistake that everybody is making that if you could just simply do something different, what is that one thing? Is it attitude?
Certainly it's attitudinal. Faulkner had this great line that the past is never dead. It's never even past. And so to pretend, the biggest mistake is pretending that your past somehow doesn't have to do with your present or your future. So the way to live into your future is to know where you've been, as opposed to just pretend you're making it up today.
Well, but denial is so powerful.
It's our friend.
Suppress it.
Yeah, denial's not just a river in Egypt, right?
That's right.
It's a state of mind,
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, John
Thank
Schuster.
you so much.
My
Thanks
pleasure,
so
Lily.
much for
Can't wait to
stopping
read your
by.
book.
Thank you.
You can meet John today, by the way, we should add, at a book signing. He's going to be at Third Place Books in Ravenna. That is at 7 o'clock tonight. Well, she's got the quirky...